What's going on, guys? Let me start this video with a question. Are you a huge sports fan and do you like going to sports games? Well, today you're in luck because I have a promo code for SeatGeek, which is a ticket sharing app that rates each ticket deal you might come across on a scale of 0 to 10, with 0 being the worst and 10 being the best. Scores more towards 0 show up in red, while scores more towards 10 show up in green. My promo code to get $20 off on SeatGeek is OberSports. You use that code, you get $20 off on any single purchase you want on SeatGeek. With that being said, let's get to the video. What's going on, guys? Jacob Ober here. In this video, I'm going to be giving you guys my official 2019 NFC North quarterback rankings, and I'm going to be doing this for every single division heading into the 2019 season over the next couple of weeks. So the NFC North, I decided to start with the NFC North because obviously my team, the Green Bay Packers, play in the NFC North, and I also felt like this was probably the easiest list to do. There's not really a whole... I feel like a lot of people who watch this video will end up agreeing with me when I finally unveil my list, but it just doesn't seem like there's too many areas where you can split hairs here, where it's really that tight. I guess there's a little bit of an argument for number 2 and number 3 when I get to it, but I'll explain why I pick who I pick as the video goes along, and I'm sure a lot of people will agree with me. But if you do disagree with me, that's fine. Just keep it civil in the comments section below. But anyways, guys, let's get on with the rankings here. Number 4, I've got Mitchell Trubisky, and I feel like this is a pretty obvious one here. Mitchell Trubisky is number 4. Unless you're a biased, really extremely biased Bears fan, there's not really too much argument to be had here. Mitchell Trubisky is not by any means better than Rodgers or Cousins or Stafford. Really not even close to any 3 of those. Yeah, he did make the Pro Bowl last year, but I mean, he was a, second or third alternate, and I mean, at that point, you know, I feel like the Pro Bowl is starting to become something that's not really as celebrated as it once was. Like, I mean, I feel like they kind of give that honor to almost anybody nowadays. I'm not saying Trubisky's a bad quarterback. I think he's got a lot of potential, but at least last year, he was good enough to get him to the playoffs. But, I mean, then again, a lot of quarterbacks for the Bears could have been good enough to get them to the playoffs the way that defense played. So not really too much surprise at number 4. We'll just move on from that. Now we get at a little bit more controversy. At number 3, I'm going to go with Kirk Cousins. And the reason I'm going to go with Kirk Cousins here is because there's just something about Kirk Cousins. He just does not perform in big spots to me. Like, every single time I see this guy play on, like, national television or something, it's just he never really ever delivers. It's just he's a good quarterback. He's actually a really good quarterback when you measure him by typical, like, NFL quarterback standards, but it's just like he just never is able to get it done in the biggest games. Like, Week 17, I think the Bears needed a win, or the Vikings needed a win at home against the Bears, and I think Cousins had like one of his worst performances of the season in that game, and you can trace this back all the way to his days as a Redskin. He just never really plays that well against good teams, especially in prime time, and I'm not saying that he's a bad quarterback by any stretch. He's actually a very good quarterback, but Kirk Cousins, I feel like you know what you're getting with Kirk Cousins every single year, and I just don't really see him as a guy who could lead you maybe beyond one win in the playoffs every once in a while. He just doesn't strike me as a guy who could do that. Moving on to number 2, though, is Matt Stafford, and I'll be honest, Matt Stafford can be criticized for some of the same things that Kirk Cousins has been criticized for, but Matt Stafford has been pretty consistent his entire career. He's not a guy, I mean, he's not an MVP. He's not, I don't really think he's much more than maybe a borderline top 10 quarterback, but he has been in the league for a while, and he has been pretty solid in doing so. I mean, he's got a 5,000-yard season under his belt. When you give him solid weapons, he's actually done really well. He does throw a lot of interceptions, but, I mean, he also really hasn't been surrounded by a whole lot of talent in his time in Detroit, and I feel like if he got a team, a good team, you know, like I feel like if you put Matt Stafford on that Bears team last year, like if he switched roles, then the Bears probably have a good chance of going to the Super Bowl, even with just a guy like Matt Stafford. yes, you can still criticize him for not showing up in big moments and not having playoff wins or whatever. Personally, I don't really consider wins much of a quarterback stat at all, because I realize that sometimes quarterbacks suffer from a poorly run organization, and I feel like Matt Stafford has had that happen to him in his career. At the same time, he has had some moments where it's like he just kind of collapses, and he's had some really ugly games along the way. But overall, though, I mean, he's still a very, very good quarterback. Like I said, I think he's borderline top 10 in the entire NFL, and he's going to be coming in at number 2 on my list. But number 1 on my list, I think we all know who the best quarterback in the NFC North is. And yes, even if you're a rival fan, you're probably going to have to agree with this. It's Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers has been the epitome of success in the NFC North. He has a Super Bowl ring and a Super Bowl MVP under his belt. He has multiple MVP awards. Even last year, which was considered one of the worst years of his career, he still threw 25 touchdowns and just 2 interceptions over 16 games started. That is just how good the guy is. And, I mean, yeah, he didn't have his best season overall last year, but when you look at this grand scheme of things, like, there's just been very few in the entire history of the NFL that have done things like Aaron Rodgers has done. And I feel like I don't really have to explain this too much, though. I mean, I feel like a lot of people know just how great Aaron Rodgers is. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Aaron Rodgers is my number 1 quarterback in the NFC North. Review of our list here. We've got Mitchell Trubisky at number 4, Kirk Cousins at number 3, Matthew Stafford at number 2, and Aaron Rodgers at number 1. I don't know which division I'm going to do next after this video, but I can assure you it'll probably be coming pretty soon, especially if this video does particularly well. I really, really like ranking things, especially quarterbacks. I love the quarterback position. It's one of my favorite positions in all of sports. So stay tuned to more division quarterback rankings coming soon. But in the meantime, guys, thanks for watching. Leave a comment in the comment section down below. How would you rank the 4 quarterbacks in the NFC North? Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at @oversports41512, and I'll see you guys next time.